I have pushed the stream button. The stream is active. Well, guys, that's the stream. See you guys later.
Right? We're done here.
I met my quota.
Bye.
I mean, yeah, we've been talking for like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
You were
exactly.
recording, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally, man. Yeah. Hello.
The whole time.
Yada yada yada. Stream introduction shit. I guess we'll do. I guess we'll do introductions. Rathma, you can go first.
No, you can't curse though.
So what?
Okay.
Just cut.
What were the parameters for introduction again? I don't remember.
Just name and video games you play, I guess.
2 truths, 1 lie.
Rathma and I played just everything. I've played. I've out of recent games I've played Elden Ring. Quite a bit more modded Terraria and Core Keeper, which I'm enjoying. I don't think anybody else has played that though. Not in here at least.
All right. You can go next, cause.
Yeah. No. Hi. I'm Cause. I exclusively play hentai games and Candy Crush. So.
Did we make it past the minute quota? Oh, we made it past the minute. We're good. You can say whatever you want now.
Yay! Awesome.
That's art. Fuck you.
Oh, it's so hard.
I did get sent Anime Standing, so I could play that.
Alright. So, I guess you can go next, Wolf.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm, people here are probably gonna call me Wolf. I go by Little Wolverine on mine. And I also play most kinds of games. I'm mostly into JRPGs. I've been playing pretty recently. And also visual novels. I've been playing visual novels. Those aren't hentai games, though.
I like how he's like, I go by Little Wolverine, so any girls in the audience can send me messages.
My Discord tag is Little Wolverine.
I mean,
any gamer girls, please hit me up.
Not to toot my own horn, I have a bit of an online presence, man.
He does need to fund his gamer girl bathwater addiction. So
that's true. No, we're not talking about that. No.
He's about to drop.
I'm Little Wolverine. My PO box is this. If you have any spare bathwater, I'd be super appreciative.
No,
any girls hit me up
about to drop his mixtape.
For nice eyes.
Yeah.
He's about to drop his mixtape on SoundCloud. Lil Wolverine, fuck with him.
Let's go. I'm
please,
totally prepared.
Please fuck with me.
And then one of the I would love it if one of the tracks in the middle of the album was just like his mom yelling at him from the next room. I'm just like screaming at her.
Hey, his mom
the track before that is me being like, oh man, I'm parched. Hey mom, could you give me a Gatorade? And then she just starts fucking screaming at me.
Yeah, she starts screaming, it cuts off, and then it goes to the next song and it continues.
Like nothing happened.
Oh god, that'd be a great bridge. I'm not even.
I would pay for it. I would pay for it.
I would.
All right, I'll work on it.
Money.
I'll be
Thanks,
the
man.
next,
my money and my virginity.
I'll be the next Eminem. Yep, that's me.
Yes, it's me. All right. Anyways, hello. Everybody knows me. I'm Rag. I run the shit. I play mostly RPGs and Monster Hunter, and that's all I do. So, I guess we will. You're welcome.
You also simp for Xenoblade characters. Let's not forget that part.
I simp for many things in this life.
You had to out him like that. That was unnecessary.
I mean, it's true.
I think most of us.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Hunter, right?
Yeah. We all simp for video game characters.
Yeah, I play Monster Hunter.
Yeah, actually, I think we've all been playing Monster Hunter recently.
Yeah. Is everybody ready for the new update to come out so that way we have a reason to play the game again?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to check my MR. I haven't played in like a month, but I'm ready for new content.
Me either.
I'm hoping the fourth monster
to the end of the game.
Yeah, you're still in high rank. I need to help you get out.
Yeah. I guess we could start with the conversation that Wolf wanted to have which is linearity in video games.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, so I've been playing...
Right on the spot.
Yeah, it's me. It's me. It's okay. I took
Damn.
improv.
Well,
We're, I didn't.
Sorry, I'm based.
That was awful. What the hell?
I've been playing some Spike Chunsoft fucking visual novels recently, and visual novels are generally linear, but I've been enjoying them a lot. But I know, like, a while ago at least, there was this huge, like, narrative in a lot of, like, popular game media that, like, linear games are bad and not fun, and I kind of just wanted to touch on that because, like, most of the games I enjoy I would consider to be linear, and a lot of the time I feel like open world things kind of detract from it. So I just wanted to hear everyone's, like, general stance on that discourse.
I mean, the
talk about it a bit more.
The first thing I would have as an argument against it is that people also sort of recently were like, single player games are the worst thing ever, and nobody wants to play them, even though a bunch of people still play single player games a lot. But
my argument against that sentiment is that games journalism is a joke. So
I mean,
yeah.
I think that a really good example of why linearity can make a game so much better is any of the new Assassin's Creed games use open world as like a crutch to make themselves seem better, even though it's really just a bunch of markers on your map with completely lazy bullshit side quests.
Yeah.
I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since 3, so
all the recent ones are just kind of bad. Like, they're not bad games, but they're not anything new.
Just kind of the typical, like, Ubisoft, find the tower, mark the map.
Exactly. That should be your greatest argument against open world games, is games trying to use it as kind of a crutch. In fact, another good example of a game that played like that was, which one was it that we played, Cause? Was it Far Cry 5?
Oh, I was talking about that with them earlier before we launched the stream. Far Cry 5 was an absolute mess. I hate that game so much.
It was such a fun game as a co-op experience, but other than that, it was awful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it's hiding behind, and just to, like, piggyback off of what you guys were saying, but there's so much to do. There's so much stuff to do, but it's all surface level and meaningless and boring, and it's very boring quickly, unless you're going around throwing shovels at people in the back of a truck.
or enjoying the game glitching out, watching a car clip through the ground repeatedly.
The best.
Truly the highlight of my life.
What about you, Rag? What are your thoughts?
I think that linearity is an okay thing sometimes, because sometimes, like, I just want to just play a fucking game, you know? Sometimes I feel like I just want to play a game and just have a little bit of fun before I have to take care of shit. So I don't think it's bad, but, like, in certain games, like open world games, and let's say, like, RPGs, it's probably a really bad case of having linearity, because then it makes you feel like you're not doing anything, especially in a game where you feel like you should be doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a lot of open world games get too, or I guess I won't use open world as the terminology for this, but like sandbox type games.
Yeah.
Like roguelikes are a really good example of non-linearity that works, but that's because it's kept on such like a small scale. I feel like it kind of gets overcomplicated when you reach into games like, you know, Ubisoft games or something like, I guarantee you Starfield's going to be fucking trash when it comes out.
What is that?
Nobody.
I haven't heard
the new Bethesda game. Exactly.
The new
It's
what?
the new Bethesda game. It's in the same goddamn engine as Morrowind was.
Oh.
Which, that game is like...
so I can walk through walls with a bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, like, I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly.
I don't know. It's Bethesda using the same engine for like 20 years now is a little annoying, but
yeah.
Whatever.
Oblivion was cool the first time I played it. But, I don't know.
Well,
Oblivion
you know,
in space
actually, it's
sounds
wonderful that we...
Whatever. What's up?
awful. But the fact that actually we got to the Elder Scrolls series, that's wonderful, because I would say that the Elder Scrolls series is a masterclass on how to do sandbox, in the sense that while it is open world, it's not a crutch. The open world aspect is an element of the game. That sandbox element helps with the storytelling. You know, you run into these different elements, and the world it feels very full, like Fallout. Well, I mean Fallout 3 and New Vegas, but New Vegas is clearly better. Fight me. In the sense that there's meaningful things to find in this incredibly open world. Like, there's legitimate stories to develop. A lot of these newer sandbox games, I feel like they're very lazy. They put superficial elements in there, and then, as Thai Cultist said, they try to use the whole sandbox thing to say, oh, but it's a really good game, there's so much freedom. Freedom to do nothing. Freedom to walk around with my thumb up my ass, you know, doing fetch quests. It's terrible.
I mean, to be fair, you can even see the decay in Bethesda itself, going from Daggerfall all the way back up to Skyrim. It's just, it gets less and less meaningful. Of course, I guess Daggerfall's a weird example because of how free it is, but Morrowind had,
that game's
like,
absurdly free.
Morrowind, I mean, there's literally like 200 factions you can join, unironically, in Daggerfall.
Yeah.
And there's entire storylines tied to the werewolf and vampire transformations and whatever. Actually, well, not just werewolf. There's like 4 different were transformations that you can get involved with.
I think we've established how fucking ridiculous that game is.
It's also, its map is also half the size of Great Britain, so you know.
But no, it's been a long time since I played a fun linear game, though. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there has been a decay in linear games as well.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. No, I'm just kidding.
Claps. This man coming in with a haymaker.
Yeah.
So, I will say, games like Doom Eternal are linear.
Yeah.
Like Persona 5.
I mean, are we really gonna say that? Are we really gonna say that those games are indicative of the current state of gaming, or are they just like diamonds in the rough?
I mean, if you want to look at the grand scheme of things, everything's shit, but at the same time...
I mean, like, I don't think it's super productive to, like, critique the game industry as a whole, because we can look back at the totality of good games, and of course, like, things from the past is gonna have more shit than things from right now, because the past is so much bigger. But I think with, like, most mediums, most of the time, 90% is garbage to any given person.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm just playing devil's advocate to why linear isn't very fun these days. Like, I will say the quality of linear has gone down substantially.
Yeah. AAA titles just kind of aren't cutting it anymore. It's mostly indie, but...
Yeah.
That's
fucking triple ass.
Got him.
Jesus. Hey, got him.
I don't know. Like, when I think about the linear and the non-linear, like, comparison, usually what comes up in my head are, like, Legend of Zelda games. I don't know how many of those everyone here has played.
I've played pretty much all of the mainline ones. Zelda started doing linearity wrong, though, is the problem.
Where do you think they did linearity wrong?
Around the time that Twilight Princess came out.
Really?
Like, it slowly but surely stopped being and of course I'm pulling this argument from somewhere else, but it stopped being I'm the hero of Hyrule and started being I'm at a theme park, because that's what it was. Everything was just handed to you. There was no sense of adventure anymore. And I feel like in Link to the Past, which is where I started, it had a sense of mystery to it, and you can argue that that was made by the developers for the longevity of the game because it was old and it needed quote-unquote padding, but the feeling of discovery was still very much there. And then you start getting up into things like Twilight Princess, Wind Waker. Actually, Wind Waker's a bad example. Wind Waker's fairly open, but it's also got nothing.
Wind Waker is
probably
one of the least linear Zelda games.
Yeah, but it has, like, nothing to do in it, so...
We can argue about that later. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like, that game's fucking boring.
Oh no!
And then Skyward Sword is just awful.
Really, I feel like Skyward Sword at least has more exploration than like Twilight Princess.
How does it have exploration?
My fucking alarm went off. Sorry. I usually wake up right now.
Oh my god. Oh, what was that alarm though? Like, that's
it's
why
like the default Android alarm. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, with the default Android alarm. Okay.
Yeah, it is the default Android alarm. I've heard it before. I've heard it in my nightmares.
You're welcome.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Saying that Skyward Sword has a lot of exploration in it is kind of strange to me.
I never said it had more. Or sorry, I never said it had a lot. I said it had more.
Oh, okay. It's got more than Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are things that you can find in Twilight Princess that are kind of off the beaten path that are interesting. Yeah. But
I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like the reason I like linear games more, like, I really like Twilight Princess. I also really like Wind Waker, but part of that might be nostalgia, because that was, like, probably the first Zelda game I really played on my own. And everyone likes the first Zelda game they play.
Yeah,
but I feel like a linear game lends itself much better to telling a story than a non-linear game does. Just because, like, the story beats can be designed into the experience, whereas you have to, like, design around the game being experienced in any way when you're making a story for a non-linear game. And like, for that reason, I really like Twilight Princess, because, like, yeah, it is essentially, like, you just do one thing after the other, and, like, no one experiences the game differently. But that means everyone's experiencing the story that they crafted. And I like that, personally.
I appreciate the formatting of the dungeons and the way they do that, because that is something that ties into the story, is, you know, Link's getting more powerful because he finds X item in dungeon and then can complete it based on that. But I think the issue that I have with it is eventually it started being like, and this is the same thing as like nostalgia. It was just building bitterness because the game just didn't feel any more interesting than the last one.
I will agree that most Zelda games like feel the same, like, especially the 3D ones. Like, when you're in a dungeon, it feels like a Zelda game.
Yeah, and I feel like Breath of the Wild was a good departure from that. But the interesting thing about Breath of the Wild, which I guess is an argument for non-linear games, is it encourages you to explore, and yeah, sure, in the grand scheme of the story, it doesn't make any sense because you're told to hurry, and then, you know, you go and you fight some random lion man so you can get a giant horse that you name Big Chungus. But I feel like sacrificing a little bit of reality in the story at that point is a good way for the game to feel free and interesting. But
so you to sum up your argument, you're saying that you feel the freedom adds that sense of adventure and mystery again that the Zelda games lost, in your opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I
Makes
mean,
sense. Not to interrupt, but Rag,
yeah.
Are we just like sitting here talking, or is there like something going on in the background on the stream? Like, can people see you playing a game or something?
I'm playing SKul right now. I'm playing a roguelike.
Can you link to the stream?
Yeah, I will.
Oh, okay.
My man's
dope.
In my,
because I don't have shit to add.
On the topic of this conversation, I really like Zelda. I've been playing Zelda for a long time, and I have fleeting moments where I enjoy Zelda. Like, it's good to just like sometimes just like turn on Zelda, like, fuck it, I'm gonna play Zelda, right? And I don't have fun playing Zelda that much anymore, depending on what game. Like, I could still like turn on A Link to the Past and just like have fun and, you know, just enjoy the game. I don't have fun I didn't enjoy playing Breath of the Wild. I mean, I enjoyed playing Breath of the Wild the first time I played it, but then I just don't. I didn't have fun playing a lot of Breath of the Wild for the sole fact that, like, in terms of story, it nails like the emptiness of the world. But there's also such thing as an open world game having too little to do, and I feel like that's how I feel about Breath of the Wild, where there's like nothing to do in that game half of the time besides like fuck about and just do. I mean, granted, having that sense of freedom is probably nice to some people, and I'm not saying a game has to be like, tell me what to do, you know? But at the same time, it's like the game is just like, hey, you can either do shrines or do like these 4 things that the main story tells you to do, or just do fucking nothing, you know? There's like barely anything to do in that game for me specifically, because I like having an overabundance of shit to do. Because I also like to complete games to completion, and I didn't have fun playing Breath of the Wild for the most part. But sometimes I was like, oh, this is nice. But I also like waking up, doing nothing, and like being as weak as an infant. I like games that start you off weak as a fucking infant, and then eventually you just become like the ruler of the fucking world, you know. And that's also good about Zelda, is what it does. Where it's like, especially Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild definitely did that.
I personally did not like Breath of the Wild at all. I don't know.
I think my other thing is a lot of this might just be completely opinion and like not based on how good the games actually are. I think most of the isometric Zelda games are better than the normal 3D ones, like Minish Cap and Link to the Past and Link to the Past Remake, which was Link Between Worlds. That's what it was called. And Four Swords, just like all of the
successor. Right?
Yeah, it changed a lot actually.
Yeah,
it was cool.
I wouldn't even call it a remake, like the amount of shit they changed. But yeah, keep going.
And gosh, what are the Spirit Tracks? Although I can understand why you wouldn't like them because they're a little more gimmicky, but then again, so is Twilight Princess and so is Wind Waker. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I love how Treebeard just got his ass banned in the stream. Jesus Christ.
I just watched that. Jesus Christ. I just watched you commit a hate crime.
Actually fondled.
This is a very, very strong. This is a legendary skull. So I got this in like the first area. So I'm just gonna fuck the entire beginning of this game.
Fondled, no. But you know, I'm curious though. Why exactly didn't you like Breath of the Wild, Wolverine? I didn't fucking play any of the Zelda games. So I have zero opinion on this, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, like, I know this is low-hanging fruit, but, like, weapons breaking really fucking pissed me off. Because I guess, like, I wanted to get to content. I'm kind of like Rag, where, like, if I'm not doing something, I get bored easily. So I wasn't really, like, looking around for loot. So I had, like, shitty weapons from the beginning of the game, and then I'd get to another point in the game, and, like, I found that the durability of weapons, like, wasn't enough for the amount of combat I was trying to do.
Yeah, I get that, but the thing about it that makes it fun is even going into an area like that with shitty weapons, what you do is you beat down the enemies that have better weapons and steal them mid-combat.
Yeah, you pick them up. And, like, I was able to do that. It was just, like, that, like, sense of urgency wasn't what I was looking for, I guess. And also, I was really disappointed with the dungeons. Not the, not the... I liked the trials a lot. Like, I liked the little puzzles. Those were cool.
Dude, oh my god, this skull is so fucking cool.
The Spirit Beasts or whatever, I really didn't like those dungeons, and I didn't like how similar they were.
Wait, hold on, go back to the spider baddie. Jesus.
Mommy. Yeah, I can understand why you wouldn't enjoy the Divine Beast, because doing a second playthrough, you can beat them in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they have absolutely zero difficulty to them once you kind of just like figure out. Of course, I guess that could be argued that that's good design. That it's not based upon some sort of RNG or arbitrary difficulty within it. You can just finish it if you know what you're doing. But at the same time, I don't know. I enjoyed the Divine Beast quite a bit, and I didn't really. I think we had the opposite experience because I didn't really care for the little shrines. I found them kind of lackluster. And I will say I was disappointed by the Divine Beasts once I got to them, because I kind of expected them to be more grand. But
yeah, that was exactly my thing. Was like, I'm sitting here playing a Zelda game, and I know every time I say this, people are like, well, Zelda 1 is the most like Breath of the Wild, so Breath of the Wild is actually like the true successor. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can shut the fuck up with that. Like, I understand that argument, but like, coming from playing a bunch of the 3D Zelda games with the more grandiose dungeons, getting into the Divine Beasts, it was like really disappointing. Like, I was finally at a place where I thought I would have an experience similar to what I enjoyed in the Zelda series, and then it kind of just fell flat of that.
I will say that I think, even though I don't like Skyward Sword, I think it had one of the coolest dungeons in the entire series, which is the one with all of the where you go down to the well and it's all of the undead moblins.
Yeah.
That has to be one of the coolest dungeons I've seen in a Zelda game. And the end of it, where you're climbing up the rope and you're being chased by all of them, and you have to shake them off. And the fact that it's also based upon, I think, an old, I want to say Egyptian legend, but I'm probably wrong. Because yeah, so if you're looking primarily for a spectacle when it comes to presentation in the game, I would definitely say that Skyward Sword is a fantastic place to be. But my issue with it is that it feels too hand-holdy. Like, I don't feel like I have any freedom in a game like that, which is kind of what I'm looking for when you present me with a grand adventure game where I'm supposed to be like... See, that was one of the interesting things about Link to the Past, which Rag may also have a comment on.
Mm-hmm.
When you learn about the Master Sword in Link to the Past specifically, it's always something that's spoken about like it's a legend and it's something that can make you stronger. It's not a key to beat the game. It's something that's going to make you more powerful. And when it's spoken about like that, instead of "this is your destiny," here it's written on this piece of paper. I honestly think it's a little more interesting.
I'm sorry.
Like, what's up?
When you see it on the stream, you'll fucking understand. I absolutely smoked that boss. Anyways, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, I screwed up. And they do the same thing in Breath of the Wild with the Master Sword, where you don't even need to get it. It's just an incredible piece of legendary equipment that you can just walk in and pick up whenever you feel like. Well, I mean, whatever you feel like, but you know what I mean. It's
whenever you get the hearts to do it.
There's so much more freedom to that game, and I actually feel like I'm making some sort of legend rather than it just being, this is what you're designated to do. Go do it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you and I, like, go into games looking for something different.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which I also think is very interesting that everybody, I think that's one of the biggest things about any game, really, that everybody can enjoy different shit about a game or expect, like, different things to happen in the game. Like, one of the reasons why I like SKul, it's one of my favorite roguelikes. One of the reasons why I like roguelikes anyways is how you can have really, really, really good runs and you can have really shit runs. And it's also one of the things that open worlds where, like, you can take the good things in a roguelike, I mean, in an open world game and shit on it, or you can, like, enjoy the different things in it.
Also, Wolf, you gotta admit that you probably don't like Tutorial Sword from Skyward Sword that much.
Oh, absolutely. I have not. You will notice I have not defended Skyward Sword specifically a single time.
Fee is such an awful character. Like,
I'm not a big
it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny because I played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and I honestly didn't find Navi that annoying. But the moment I was introduced to Fia, I'm just like, this is abysmal. Why is she here?
Yeah. No, for sure. Like I don't like the hand holding isn't the part that I like of the games. But like I guess like getting back into my point was like you go into a game looking to make an experience, and I think I go into a game looking for an experience to be given to me.
Well, the only thing I see with that's like an issue is I absolutely fucking adore Ocarina. I would even say that it's like competing with Breath of the Wild for my favorite Zelda game. So I think it's I don't know, it's hard to explain because I'm not nostalgic for Ocarina. I didn't play it when I was a kid. I've played both versions of it semi-recently, like when I was in high school. So I played the original and the remake. Love the remake. I would definitely well, I don't think you can get it anymore.
OOT 3D?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good. It fixes a couple of the glitches that were in the old one too. Also, this is just a fucking Castlevania level. I don't know if anybody's like mentioned that yet on stream. Like the maids and the knights and the skeletons and
yeah, there's a lot of references to shit. Like there's a skull you can get that's like a reference to Metal Slug.
Huh? Is there a funny Belmont one too?
There might be. I haven't like I play it a lot on my Switch, and like I haven't seen all of the skulls yet, so I don't know yet.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to take up the whole conversation with this topic, but
yeah, I mean, I think we've gotten a pretty good understanding.
I guess like one last thing is like I've said linear games I liked. You all have said non-linear games you've liked and disliked. So I'll go with a linear game that's like generally hated. Like, what did Final Fantasy 13 do wrong? Maybe you can comment on this, right?
Do you want to have a discussion about that, or do you want to have a discussion about what it did right? Because I guarantee you that'll stop within this millennia. What it did wrong isn't going to stop.
But like, there's gotta be like just a simple thing like what's wrong with Final Fantasy 13?
Okay, how much time do we got? We wanted to be here for an hour, right?
I'll give you 3 minutes. I'll give you 3 minutes.
I need more than 3 minutes. I'm gonna need more than 3 minutes.
All right, 8.
Okay. The thing. I would also like to point out that my thoughts on this game are going to be scattered because I also haven't like played it since the first time I played it when it first came out. So like my memory of it is very like low because I try to forget shit that hurts me the most. But anyways, so the thing that Final Fantasy 13 did wrong for me personally is that like the funny thing is that like I could forgive the linearity if it had a good story to go to it. And while I don't fucking absolutely despise the story. We talked about it before the stream started. Like I can forgive having a bad story but good characters and vice versa. But like the story and most of the characters in Final Fantasy 13 just fucking suck. They're all one note, and like Lightning is like one of the most bland fucking characters in Final Fantasy ever. She like does fucking nothing. Like she's just like, I'm a fucking edgy edgelord, and I don't care about my friends until the end of the game, and all I care about is my girlfriend. It's a sister. What the fuck did I think it's girlfriend? Anyways, all I care about is my sister Sarah, and it's like, dude, it's the same thing with Snow. Like all Snow cares about is fucking Sarah, and you're like, dude. You never fucking see her anyway, so like, why the fuck do you give a shit? Anyways, linearity.
Yeah, so I think that's actually like a good nugget of truth there is like you didn't have that narrative experience to carry you through linearity because like it didn't make sense soon enough. Like let's also
point it at another game.
The gameplay wasn't.
Let's point out another Final Fantasy game that's linear, but is also like fun to play and well at times because we talked about this before the stream. Final Fantasy VII remake. Like the story is, and it's also a great thing
that tried and true
for anybody that has played the original. Final Fantasy VII. They change enough shit and add enough different tidbits for you to like enjoy it, even if you've played the original Final Fantasy VII. So one of the bigger things about Final Fantasy 13 is that it also lasted way too fucking long. Final Fantasy 13 didn't need sequels. I'm not bitter, you're bitter. Shut up. Anyways,
the best way that I can describe Final Fantasy 13 is, it's very nice to look at. It's got great animations.
Yeah.
It's got great what do I say? Like levels, like the design of the levels is incredible. So the best way I could describe it is jingling keys in front of your face while they drag you around on a sled. That's essentially that's essentially the gameplay of that game, because everything looks really nice, but you're not doing anything. You're just kind of walking along the path they give you.
In that game, like grinding's not fun.
I don't think any Final Fantasy game has made grinding fun, but I'll keep that in my pants.
Bravely Default is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never consider Bravely Default a Final Fantasy game. I try to separate it, because I still haven't finished Bravely Default 2, but
the Switch one, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
See, this is going to launch me into a whole other discussion, because I don't like Seth as a character. But let's continue on.
I'm gonna put a cap on this linearity discussion, because I feel like I've already taken up 20 minutes of our time.
It's fine.
That's
it doesn't. I mean, it's a good conversation to have.
For sure.
Because everybody has like different variants on what they deem as linearity most of the time, so it could be different for everybody. But
yeah,
the biggest it commits the cardinal sin of like Final Fantasy 13 commits the cardinal sin of any RPG where it's linear, the story sucks, the character sucks. The battles are basically auto battles. You don't have to fucking do anything in them. Like there's nothing in the game opens up in one area like 40 hours into the game. And guess what you do in that area? You fucking grind. You don't do anything else in that area.
I feel like this is kind of an unfair thing to say, but it's definitely something that comes expected of a game like this. You can't write shit characters in a series that's already had fantastic characters.
Yeah.
Because if you go to Lightning and people are like, oh, well, strong, independent female character, it's like, no, look at Terra from 6.
Fucking Terra.
There's your well-written, strong female character right there. Because, I mean, this is the same woman who argues with the villain and actually, like, corners him in a debate, and then he just says, fuck you, and just blows up the world.
Yeah.
Like, he gets so salty that she's right that he just blows the world up, and it's like, that's brilliant.
Into causing the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Kefka is kind of an incel, I won't lie to you.
Yeah. It's like, and even then, like, they've had strong female characters regardless, even if they're not, like, they just had strong female characters, period, in Final Fantasy. Almost every single mainline one has a strong female fucking character in it. And
yeah, well, I mean, Terra, the only reason I put her in that position of comparison is because she's kind of the main character of 6.
Yeah.
Sort of. Isn't at the same time.
We could, if we started talking about Final Fantasy 6, we'll be here until I have to go to work tomorrow. But so, one of the big things about Final Fantasy 6 is anybody can be the main character, really. Like, and they sort of like give you like 8 characters at the start. Like, hey, who the fuck do you want to be the main character, right? But the biggest thing about Lightning is that Lightning like doesn't do anything. She doesn't learn anything. She doesn't evolve from the game. It's like character progression is a big thing. I'm not saying we could also be another conversation is, does a character have to experience character progression to be a good character, you know? Because there's a lot of characters that don't experience any character progression and are fucking amazing. And it's like it's mostly the characters that are the strong, stoic, I'm a warrior and I don't care about anything. It's like, dude, you have to fucking learn something. You have to go through something.
Well, I think the issue with Lightning being like that is that she's a main character. You need development for your main character. You really do. Because
I disagree. I want to throw in Dante from Devil May Cry. He's an asshole from beginning to end, and we love him. He does not grow at all. He's a huge child.
He still does, though. Over the course of the games, he changes. He's a very different character from what he used to be. Yes, he's the same.
From game to game, though, that's what I'm saying. Like just in one game, in one contained game.
Yeah.
From an action standpoint, he's still Dante, but he's like an old man now.
He's still Dante. But exactly, that's the thing, is the fact that there's a way to write a character in which, like, a main character that doesn't grow, and they're still badass.
I mean, well, the thing is, you're looking for. I mean, the next best comparison would be Bayonetta. She also doesn't really develop too much, but the whole point of the game is that it's action, and the entire point of the character is that they're badass. That's part of the story. So it's something happening.
But it's also a way of storytelling.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying I should have clarified. For an RPG, I feel like there needs to be development for a character.
Oh, okay.
Because they're going on a journey.
I've never played an RPG where they didn't do that, so I don't know. I don't know if anyone's tried to make an RPG where the main character just starts out as busted and doesn't change all throughout the course of the story.
They did. It's called Final Fantasy 13, and it's bad.
Jesus.
Shit! Damn it, I lost that fucking fight.
Who knows? That might be case in point. But I would love to see that, honestly, where you start an RPG and it's just entirely about this like savage character affecting the world around them. Because it's really the only way you could do that. That's the only way you can have a character that really does an arc, is they have to start off kind of busted.
Yeah, well,
apparently
I mean,
someone is quiet, Rag. I'm not sure who, but hopefully
who is it?
It out.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Quiet.
Someone in chat was saying someone's
Who's quiet?
Oh, I can't. Oh, chat's not saying. Okay, that's weird. Chat's not. Oh, there it is.
Someone is very quiet. Volume.
Okay, I just now. Yeah, for some reason, stream wasn't popping up on my fucking whatever. Okay. Someone's quiet. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
It's probably.
Is it me?
Hang on. Let me turn you guys up in OBS. Actually, that might help. Let me turn you guys up in OBS. Actually, that might help.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, it's
Why is it?
It's just
this is being run by professionals.
This is a stream. This is a professional stream. God damn it!
There's actually people watching this.
Yeah, I know. I told you.
Damn.
I got 7 people.
Right. I got bitches. I told you.
Wow.
I got bitches. I got that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 7 people here, but 4 of them are us. So.
Silence.
Please let him have it. Wolverine, please. Stop.
Let me have my dub.
This mean ass 5. This fucking 5'5" bastard ripping into you, Rag. You better be careful.
All right, let me know. Let me know if it's any. Let me know if it's any better. Let me know if it's any better. I mean, Wolf is taller than me, but that's a topic for another day.
It's true. It's true.
Stop.
The short king stream. Let's go.
The short king. Let's go. Someone is very quiet. I'm trying to figure out. I'm just gonna be chaotic and turn everybody up to 200. Let's do this.
Jesus.
Oh.
Wow, that is a horrible decision. That is amazing.
Okay, never mind. You're already going. You're gonna turn back down already. Never mind. Guys, this is a professional stream. I just want you guys to know that.
I mean, it's the first one.
Clearly.
Yeah. It is the first one. I'm trying to figure shit out. I guess we could take turns having people like talk, and they can like try to help troubleshoot it.
They said it's fine now. So that's probably good.
Just stick with what we have.
Okay.
But yeah, we've been talking about
either that or they just like turn their volume up.
I guess we can ask chat, since there's a decent amount of people here. Does anybody in chat have questions for us, or anything that they want to add to anything?
Decent amount of people.
Considering that I'm one of the 7 people, yeah, I got something to ask.
Don't fuck it. Don't. Yeah. No.
Decent amount of people.
I'm gonna slap your hand.
I don't think letting chat direct conversations is a good idea.
No, just a question. Like, just ask a question. We'll maybe talk about it for like 5 minutes and then move on, if even that.
Damn, dude, why is Rag such a bitch? God, but what the fuck?
What's that? You want to get? What's that? You want to get punched in your fucking face? That's all I heard.
Why is Rag deferring to chat for content? Is he even a content creator? What the fuck is going on here?
Oh, I see a really good question in there. I see a really good question in there.
Yeah, dude.
What's the best FF game? 6.
The best Final Fantasy game to start with. Either 6 or 7. It just depends.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, I'm
don't
not getting
start
these days.
That's weird. I'm not getting all the fucking. Okay, hang on. Let me figure this out.
I don't think the original Final Fantasy VII is like. I don't think it's really playable by today's standards, to be honest. Just visually, it's kind of tough for a lot of people.
I mean, if you're gonna go on to visuals as why you shouldn't play it, then you shouldn't be playing JRPGs.
Okay.
Well,
while we got some good questions. I'll let you guys go ahead.
I don't know. I would generally agree with you, but there's an era of like early PS1 and like some GameCube games that just look like garbage. And like I love JRPGs, but I don't want to play anything from that era of games.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, okay, so another good thing to say about this would be, if you want to start with Final Fantasy, like you said Bravely Default earlier, so I'm going to kind of say that we can mention if we can mention like Square RPGs in general, Chrono Trigger is fantastic one.
Yeah, for sure.
Really good.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
Final Fantasy VI on like the same tier.
I'm pretty sure that I've screamed from the mountaintops about Chrono Trigger to everybody in chat at some point anyways.
The only problem with Chrono Trigger now is all of the recent ports are just kind of bad.
Yeah, they fucking suck.
They've updated the Steam one again, so maybe that disgusting lag before every encounter is finally gone, but I haven't checked.
Your best bet is to emulate it. Just emulate an SNES one and just fucking play that, because it's the best
emulate
experience.
It in a video game.
Yeah.
If you own it. Yeah.
I felt like throwing money at Square again, just because I don't know. I think that we had a really good thing coming out, which was, and I'm gonna bring up something that's gonna give Bragg PTSD probably. The Chrono Trigger remaster that was being fan made that just got canceled by Square.
Why? Why?
Yeah.
God, I can't. Oh my fucking Christ, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring that up.
Why would you do this to me? I thought we were friends.
They should just take the Sega route and like sponsor them and then sell it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why more companies don't do that. Actually,
I guess we do have some. I like how that just like springboarded off of the Final Fantasy game in question. In my opinion, the best one to start with would probably be either 6 or 4. Because 4 has a simple enough story. If you've played any standard RPG, you played Final Fantasy 4 story before. And also, I think like the gameplay of 4 is really fun. It's when they, I mean, obviously, it's the first one where they did the ATB system, at least in the main series Final Fantasy games. So it's a nice springboard to start off with. And
oh, sorry, go on.
Also, it has Rosa, which is one of my first crushes in video games, but we don't talk about that. So let's talk about that.
I was gonna say any Final Fantasy game that has the job system in it is really good too. It's a very interesting way to play.
5 is good. Even 1, you could still start out with 1. 1 is you can knock out 1 in an afternoon. Honestly, like 1 is short enough to where it's a short but sweet experience. I mean,
it's also really weird and easily exploitable.
Yeah. If you play any of the older versions besides the Steam versions, you will absolutely break that game very easily.
You'll walk to the tip of a continent and get attacked by monsters like 7 levels higher than you. It's like, okay,
and
cool.
And if you manage to beat them, you'll gain like 8 fucking levels for no reason.
Also, I forgot
in terms of like really, Final Fantasy games, like the only ones that you really shouldn't play are like 2 and 3, and 8.
13.
And 13. And 15.
Actually,
I'm kidding. I actually like
15. Let me see if 2 and 3 are the ones I'm thinking of.
Honestly, 10 might be a good one.
10 is also pretty good.
If you want to like just experience if you side with me on the linear argument,
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, you should play 10 because 10's kind of a hallway like 13, but the story actually like matters.
Or
does it?
Wait, which one's 10? Is the one with Tidus in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that game. That game's awful.
Damn.
No. I will agree with you that 4 is really good though, because I was trying to remember what game Cecil and Kane were from, but it's 4.
You can also play Dissidia Final Fantasy.
I loved it.
I actually like Dissidia. I'll fight you on Dissidia. I actually like Dissidia.
I mean, people love Dissidia. It's just you're not gonna find any other Final Fantasy game that you like if you like Dissidia.
You're also
if Dissidia is your basis, you're gonna be very disappointed.
Yeah, I know.
You're also gonna be able to experience it again in a multiplayer atmosphere because I'm pretty sure Duodecim and the first one aren't like available anywhere anymore than the PSP.
You can emulate it on a PSP emulator and still play with people, but it requires a lot of setup.
Yeah. Also, don't.
We got GGPO on that shit.
We do not sponsor emulation
unless you own the video game.
Yeah.
And get the ROM yourself.
Don't emulate kids, even though it's really cool and a good idea.
The video game.
I guess Laura asked us what's our best and worst rando experience.
I don't know what rando means.
I'd assume Monster Hunter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I played with this lady called Laura. She was terrible.
Yeah, man. I could see that.
Actually, no. I do have a worst rando experience. So, all 3 of you, well, no, 2 of you know Loaf.
Okay.
So he and I used to hunt like constantly together, and when we were doing Gogmazios in 4, we ran into these 2 gunners who were wearing identical gear. They were the worst fucking players we have ever encountered. They triple carded within the first 5 minutes of that hunt. Like they had their fashion coordinated. They had the same guns and everything, and then they just like immediately screwed us over.
Incredible.
So yeah, that was my worst experience.
Truly magnificent.
I think my best and worst are both from World, surprisingly. And I know we're not World fans here, but I did play it. My worst rando experience.
I like World.
Oh, okay.
Shut up.
My worst rando experience was definitely just like trying to do the Nergigante fight when it came out on console. Like I was playing it on PS4 and I was trying to do Nergigante, and fucking no one knew how to do a Superman dive. I tried to.
What weapon do you go?
I think at the time I played, it was either a longsword or a hammer. Like I was doing fine. I wasn't carding at all.
I was just gonna say, if you played hammer, you could have soloed that hunt so easily.
I was just like, I like playing Monster Hunter because it's like a cooperative game, and it's like one of the only ones that people actually play. Like I'm not good enough at video games to play PvP, but I still want to play with people.
Yeah, me too.
And that's why I really like Monster Hunter. But anyways, I tried at that fight for like 5 hours, and then I finally I soloed it and first tried it. But my best experience was when we were still playing World. We had coordinated layered armor, me and 2 of my friends. It was all the same thing, and we wore the Kulu Yaku hat. And then we all had like different primary colors, so it looked like a Sentai gang. And we all used hammers, and we called ourselves the Big Bang Gang. Because we would all like knock over a monster and then use the Big Bang attack on its head together.
Amazing.
And someone was like in our lobby, and after playing one hunt with us, they got into they put on a Kulu Yaku hat and equipped a hammer and started doing the same thing with us. That was like the best non-verbal experience I've had in a video game.
You know, actually, I will say Going back to my worst experience, a lot of randoms that I met that were awful were in World, but that I think it was a little too heavily affected by how much I disliked the meta of World, because, you know, you'd mount a monster and somebody would just wallbang it immediately, and it's like, you people suck.
Yeah, people really didn't know how to play the video game, even though they were playing it.
I'm trying to think of my best and I've been playing. Fuck, I'm trying to remember my best and worst random experience. I don't. Oh man, that's a fucking laundry list. Holy shit! Hang on, I gotta pause the game.
Actually, while you do that, I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick.
My best. I think. I mean, I guess at a point, Wolf was considered a random. So like, the first time we played on Snack Stream, you know, we all just kind of bullied shit, and we were like, hey, let's just fucking be friends after this. One of the worst. Oh
and
my
then
god.
And then we met each other at recess.
Yeah.
We went down the slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gave you some of my pudding. Yeah, it was pretty great.
Hell yeah.
Fuck, I'm trying to think about another one. My worst, I think, was probably in 4U, where like we were in. It was like when I first got Discord. Yeah. Oh my god! Literally any French player ever. I'm kidding. I would say one of them is when we were playing. It wasn't with you guys, but I ended up joining a Discord, and it was a bunch of French players, and I played with them, and they were still in low rank armor in G rank, like they still had like low rank gear and everything, and then I left. And then I got cussed out in French for like 5 minutes, and then I just left. I was like, I'm good. Incredible. I don't even know why I joined this place in the first place.
They were doing a challenge.
True.
What you got, Cuz?
Oh, I haven't played Monster Hunter anywhere near long enough for me to have any like best or worst random experience. I have had my handheld since fucking generations, and even then, I don't think I ever got past fucking high rank. Because I think when I started playing it, I'm trying to remember, because it was Thigh Cultist who got me into Monster Hunter in the first place. Immediately took to gunning. But yeah, all of my rando experiences with other people from the internet come from Dark Souls. That's like the only time I've ever interacted with fucking strangers, and that game is bizarre.
That's a toxic
from Dark Souls
to interact with humanity.
It's so fun. Oh my god, you see all sides. It's great. Pieces of shit in the like beginning game areas invading with gear that you shouldn't even be able to look at, and then they just T-pose at you and fondle you. Hackers all day, every day. Yeah, no. But no, in terms of Monster Hunter, I don't have any rando experiences. When I'm not playing with Thigh Cultist, I just play solo.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where if I don't play Monster Hunter with my friends, I don't really play it at all.
Yeah, I'm at that point too, and all my friends play on Switch.
Come back to me.
Bunch of beta males.
Come back to me. I'll play with you on Switch.
I would come back to you if I could bring 60 FPS with me.
Oof.
But I cannot.
Poor baby bastards.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm good at the game, so it's fine.
Yeah. You and I will both be fine.
He's like, I can compensate. Ugh. Okay, well, I mean, seeing as how, like, that topic kind of lived and died, I think another interesting one is what video game kind of, like, defined your childhood to a degree? Like, if you had to pick one, like, what video game was the one that, like, it caught you and you were stuck?
Oh, like what was like my first game that I was just like, I fucking love video games?
Yeah, the game that like defined gaming for you.
I would probably, it's gonna be super fucking lame, but I'd probably say Super Mario World. It was like the first game I ever like beat to completion, like every level, every secret, everything. Like it was the first game I ever beat fully.
Mine's worse, but what's yours, Wolf?
Oh, yours is not going to be worse than mine.
I swear it is. I bet money it will be.
How much you want to bet?
Fucking 10 cases of Gamer Girl bathwater. Like, that's how much I believe that
Shit,
mine's
it's
gonna
like
be the lamest of all of us. Easily.
All right. Well, my childhood defining game is probably Sonic Heroes.
That's not bad.
Sonic, have you played?
No,
Sonic
it's not.
Oh no! I'm saying like as a kid, you didn't know any better.
As a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny too because like I moved on from that to Sonic 06, and I still to this day believe that Sonic 06 is the most fun Sonic game. I'll take that to my grave.
Okay. Fair enough, King. Mine is Lego Batman.
That's not bad.
How old are you?
Xbox 3. Fuck you. I was 10. It was my first console. I loved Lego Batman. I played it to completion. I've played every sequel of it since then. That was my first console. Don't bully me. Now give me my fucking bathwater.
Everybody in chat can answer that too if they want to. And we will judge you vocally about your gamer choices as a kid.
That's true.
100%.
I mean, children like garbage. Well, I kind of envy them, to be honest.
Me too.
I mean, that explains why they like Ninja.
Alright, you can answer that question too. What was the game that defined your childhood?
Chrono Trigger. I'm gonna be boring and say that.
God, man, you must be nice.
How old are you?
So cultured. Yeah, exactly. He's like 57 saying that shit. It was Chrono Trigger. Back in my day, I had to walk back home both ways to 15 miles just to play my Chrono Trigger.
Back in my day, games didn't fucking suck.
Yeah, okay.
Crash Bandicoot 3. That's adorable.
Alright, also, I was staying in front of the spider for an undesignated amount of time for all the people in chat that want to see the spider lady.
Culture.
Oh, yeah.
That's... Thank you. Culture. Move for the fucking culture.
I was staying in front of Spider.
Either Zapper
or
Plants vs. Zombies. I don't know. I was about to ask the same thing. I've never played Zapper.
The hell's Zapper?
What is Zapper?
Is it another like iOS game?
Serena, what kind of weird bullshit were you playing as a kid?
Don't talk about my...
What fucking Zoomer in the chat is saying that they played like Plants vs. Zombies as their childhood game?
I mean, wouldn't that be a millennial?
Ugh, no. No, well, no.
That would be a millennial. That would be a millennial.
No, millennials are older than us, actually.
Exactly. Plants vs. Zombies is old as shit.
She's not even older than I am.
It'd be a Zoomer. They'd be like 8 when it came out.
Ugh.
Okay.
At least I was 8 when it came out. I'm a Zoomer. Super Mario Land 2. Oh wow! You saying Super Mario Land 2 like totally jogged my memory. I had a Game Boy Advance that I played Super Mario Brothers 2 on, like the Doki Doki Panic reskin.
Oh my god, Laura just said Nintendogs. I love that.
Nintendogs is a fucking legend, bro.
Oh,
Laura, the absolute legend. Game. We need to step our game taste up, ladies and gentlemen.
It's true.
Right.
I'll get Animal Crossing. I'm sorry. I'm a bit late to the party.
That's why we're all singles, because we're not playing Nintendogs right now.
I mean, speak for yourself, but whatever.
Gets no
I mean, speak for yourself, but whatever.
Rag brings up the average to like 1.
I don't know, Rag. You're displaying some real maidenless behavior right now.
I don't know, man. I can't hear over the sound of you not having a maiden, but whatever.
I am actually in a relationship. I should.
So am I. So am I.
Fucking e-girl.
Rag, it's just your beta energy. I forgot for a second.
Yeah, fair point.
Stop!
My bad, bro. My bad. I'll be better for you, good sir.
Infect us with the beta.
I was trying to decipher that spider language known as bottom, which I don't really speak.
I don't know. You should talk to your girlfriend about that one.
Ooh.
Ooh, man. Are you gonna... Does he have to talk to his mom next?
Yeah!
Oh, snap.
Yeah!
Really
And he's gotta ask his mom.
Yeah,
Okay,
but I don't... No, it's okay. I'll talk to your mom.
It's like, go ahead. If you want if you want to deal with that shit, you could be my guest, bro. That's all you, bro.
No, knowing him... Knowing fucking
this
thigh
come out of
cultist, he'll talk to your dad instead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can find that motherfucker, congratulations, you did better than I could.
Putting out a reward.
You did better than I could.
I mean, that would imply that.
That
would imply that thigh cultist knows what a dad looks like, though.
the two most unhinged people in this chat are fatherless. Think about that for a second.
Absolutely fatherless behavior attracts.
I do have the cheese. Yeah, Nintendogs is a great game. I actually played Nintendogs because my sister owned it and my Switch broke. I mean, not my Switch, my fucking DS broke. And all of my fucking games were lost, so I had to play Nintendogs on my sister's DS.
Actually, I had to.
Did you not know how to like remove game cartridges?
Oh, I did. I just lost all my fucking games. I had that game, and then I think I had Bakugan. So you know.
Oh shit! Battle brawlers, let's fucking go!
Let's go! That shit was actually that shit was actually godlike. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
That game was hard. No, I'm right there with you. Entirely. Fucking bootleg Yu-Gi-Oh! I
own it. I think I still have my copy somewhere in storage of my original copy of Bakugan, and I also bought it for my brother on the Wii.
Don't you dare say it's don't you dare say it's discount Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have magnet balls in it.
It was like Yu-Gi-Oh! And what's that one with the Beyblades? It was like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Beyblades had sex.
Mom, if you played with Beyblades, you didn't have a good father figure in your life.
That makes sense.
What do you mean? You're splitting the fucking Red Sea like Moses. What are you talking about? I mean, canonically. No. Canonically, Moses split the Red Sea.
Yeah, and in the year in Kaiba dueled Isis into submission, but we don't talk about that.
I want that to be in the Bible somewhere. And then Moses let it rip.
and also Jesus was a Joestar. Let's talk about that.
I was just gonna talk about that. Oh, anime is so fucking absurd. It's great.
I like that.
Can we just take a second?
What?
I
was just gonna say a children's card.
I was just gonna say I wanted to take a second to say Pokemon's stupid.
What? You don't like Ash Ketchum constantly failing?
Fucking Ass Ketchum for one is a terrible protagonist, but for two,
you're talking about the anime?
If we're, the anime is trash and the universe is stupid. I'm gonna say it now.
I mean,
it's
to
not
be
a very
fair,
entertaining universe.
The most recent games are fucking terrible.
Yeah, they're fucking hot dog shit. That's a topic for another day where we talk about games that we like but hate now.
Exactly. I think that'd be a very good topic.
Final Fantasy the whole time.
We
right.
We also need to talk about Metroidvanias too.
Yeah. I think a lot of us are versed in Metroidvanias. Oh, never mind. Okay, some of us.
Go off, Queens. I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, we already had the conversation without causality about Final Fantasy, so maybe he should choose the next topic.
That's true.
Oh goodness gracious. Oh my, I'm sweating under all the pressure. Ooh, my stars and garters.
Are you coming down with the vapors?
Where are my smelling salts? Oh goodness. Bring the little slave boy out from the field so he can bring me some water.
It's fine, you can just smell my balls, dude.
Oh, that's right. Gamer Musk.
For God's sake, pick a fucking cat.
I mean, we were just talking about yeah.
Pick a fucking topic.
Pick a fucking topic.
That's not my friend's balls, please.
For one, if we're talking about whose balls belong to who in this friendship,
Oh no.
I've known him for long. Never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. But fuck. Games that were, let's see. Games that had a lot of potential, like you really enjoyed them, but there was like a critical or terminal flaw about them that just made it so that you can't even defend it when you talk about it.
Monster Hunter World.
You don't like that game,
okay,
though.
all right.
Oh yeah, true.
Why do you guys hate World so much?
Oh my god.
It's almost cult-like. I don't get it. You and fucking Thigh Cultist, you despise World. Why?
You know what the crazy part is? I started hating that game before I even started talking to anybody because I just kept playing it, and it just kept pissing me off more and more to the point where I was just like, man, fuck this game. Like, it's just such a...
We'll start with... I know your reasons for hating it, Thigh Cultist, so I'm curious about Rag. Why do you hate it so much? I mean, it might be similar, but I'm just interested.
How much time do we got? Okay.
Oh, fuck.
No, I'm saying we've been going on for like an hour and 10 minutes. I'd say
We're
maybe
going into OT.
I'd say maybe stop in like like 10 or so minutes. 10.
Sure.
So we can wrap it up after this.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, give us your thoughts on this, and then we can like close.
World shackles you from fun almost all of the time. I could judge it as like an actual game, or I could judge it as a Monster Hunter game, and both do not work because in the grand scheme of it, a lot of the mechanics in that game are fucking stupid. I mean, obviously there's the standard shit, there's the low-hanging fruit, there's I can't skip cutscenes and weapon designs and all that shit, but a lot of...
I would honestly argue that the weapon design thing isn't really low-hanging fruit. It is an integral part of why I don't like that game, but go on.
Fair. Well, like it's the main criticism that everybody gives of that game. I don't like... There's so much... I mean, I will give it credit where credit is due. A lot of quality of life shit, and obviously it caused Monster Hunter to be a household name, which is another thing. I wouldn't even know half of the people that I know now if it wasn't for Monster Hunter World coming out. So, but like
it did also bring in like a really awful American community though with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, we get it. You fucking xenophobic gatekeeping bastard. Let Rag continue. I'm curious about his opinion. We all know why you hate it.
I actually don't know. I actually don't know why he hates it, but that's a topic.
I don't know why he hates it.
Me either.
But, okay. So he's only ranted to me about it. All right, let's save that for next episode.
Let's talk about.
He doesn't like preaching to the choir, you know.
Let's talk about. I'm going to talk about Monsters gameplay. And the biggest thing that makes me angry about the game is how often people are like, "Oh my god, it doesn't play like the old Monster Hunter games. It's not slow and clunky." And I'm like, it's pretty fucking slow and clunky. Like, it just looks a little nicer.
You can walk while drinking potions. It's not slow and clunky.
It's slow and clunky.
That's great.
I don't do deflects when I drink the juice.
You don't actually shit yourself when you go to drink a potion.
Okay. Your heart doesn't stop beating.
Yeah, the monster doesn't detect your bitch pheromones and come to kick your ass.
Oh, he doesn't smell your beta male musk and come for you immediately.
That's not even a joke. If a Tigrex rushes at you in Generations and you like use an item, it'll do this like really funny animation where it like cranes its neck sideways to look back at you, and then it throws a rock at you.
It's like, huh?
My main qualms with World are what I can think of twofold. One is it was impossible to get my friends into the game because of how the main story worked.
Yeah.
Like, it was really hard to play with people if they hadn't already beaten the part of the game you're trying to play with them.
It trickles you into content so fucking slowly. It's not fun.
Yeah, and also the maps.
Yeah.
Like I understand their grandiose like vision to try to make it more of an open world experience.
Your map is massive with nothing in it.
Well, I would say that most of the maps are fine. It's the ancient forest.
There's shit in it, but it's hard to like find what you want to find.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get to places you want to get to. And you end up like needing the crazy taxi arrow bugs.
Yeah.
And I don't like that as much as like just having the old maps.
Or just having
Ancient Forest is cancer changed my mind.
That's not even.
No one here is gonna argue with you.
No one's gonna argue. I also
Poor Ancient Forest.
The monsters are very lackluster. And like, especially like in higher ranks, where like, how often monsters just move around and don't do it. They just move around for the sake of fucking moving. They're not like moving to like reposition to like combo you or like attack you. They're just fucking moving. They're just doing it because they fucking can. And it's really fucking frustrating, especially like when you're trying to play the fucking game, and the monster's stopping you from fighting it for 5 goddamn minutes because you're like, hey, it'd be really dope if you could like sit the fuck still for like 10 seconds and like let me hit you. And monsters have like no end lag on their shit, like case in point fucking Rajang. How often he does a move, goes into another one, goes into another one, goes into another one, and then he like sits still for 2 seconds and then does it again, and you're like, this is not fun. And
I mean,
well, for not taking dual blades to Rajang.
Yeah, bringing Rajang into this brings up another good point, which is people, if you complain about Rajang, they're like, "Oh, well, it's supposed to be overtuned." It's like, what the fuck does that mean?
What the fuck does that even mean? Another thing that the game does that I'm sure some people like, even the game's HP scaling is fucking atrocious. It's unacceptable. It's not. No, that's fucking stupid. It's so fucking retarded how much fucking health monsters have in a group. Because, in case you don't know, single player, like, let's take, like, Rajang, for example. Rajang has about 22,000 with one player. Not bad, whatever. It's like the standard, it probably has, like, the standard HP of, like, probably a normal monster and, like, MR in Rise, 2 people, like, 44,000. 3 and 4 people is 88,000.
Yeah, it goes 1, 2, 4 per scaling, which is awful.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's not even like a 3-person, and 3 and 4 have the same health scaling. So if you're not hunting with a full squad, you're actively handicapping yourself with 4 people. It makes no fucking sense. And also having high HP thresholds and having high like tolerances to statuses. And being able to one-shot me, that doesn't make your game fucking difficult. That's not difficulty. That's not how a fucking game should be difficult. You being able to one-tap me for fucking up once doesn't make your game hard. And, like, let's not even mention all the DPS checks and how often they force you to play a certain way, like a Latreon, or, like... obviously Latreon's, like, the main one, where it's like, hey, if you don't... In a game that lets you play however you want, like if you want, you can play however the fuck you want in Monster Hunter. It's like, hey, if you want to like be a healer, you can do that. If you want to like just be a tank with Lance, you can do that. But when it comes to Elatrion, it's like, hey, you have to play elemental DPS or fuck you. You don't get to beat this monster. Because we're telling you how to play the game now. And it's the same thing.
That's the show, everyone. Thanks for watching.
I was going to say... It's also the same thing about baby gaming content. How often? Like, keep in mind, I played the game when the entire game was out. Like, all the updates were done. The game is done being patched. Like, it's done. So, having to play the game from scratch, especially in MR, where it's like, hey, you could fight monsters at, like, I think it was, like, 40, 60, and then I think 100 were the points where you fight, like, when they stop to make you do quests. I was ready to fight all of the shit that they wanted me to fight, like, at MR, like, 30 or 40. And it just feels like it's baby gaining content, and it's telling me I could fight it when the game tells me I could fight it. And I mean, yeah, one can make the argument that, oh, all the other Monster Hunter games do that. It's like, yeah, but you also gain progress so slow in the world that you don't feel like you're making any progress at all half of the time. At least to me, anyway.
Well, one of the other issues with the way that they introduce progression is the fact that a lot of monsters are locked to the guiding lands even when you unlock them.
Yeah. And also, okay, let's talk about how fucking stupid the guiding lands are real quick. I'm gonna give it 1 point.
We're gonna have an extra hour of shitting on
Hold on.
I'm just gonna say this and then I'm done. This is one of the main points of like the mechanics actively working against you. So you know how the guiding lands works, right? You fucking start off lower, you level up shit, you fight stronger shit, right? And then like that's how, and eventually you unlock tempers, and then you unlock tempered elders. And as you do that, it's based on the area's level. But as you're grinding one level area, the other levels are decreasing. Why they punish me for grinding it when there's an option in the game that lets me adjust the settings to my liking? It's fucking stupid to me. I don't understand that. Because like I can adjust the levels as I see fit. So why are you taking levels? Let me just level up every single area and adjust the levels as I please. Is that just like good game design to me when there's an option to do it in the game already, or am I just being stupid?
You're being stupid. You're asking for too much.
Of course I am. I'm sorry that I asked you for my game to fucking work. My bad.
Wait, Rag, just mod it.
Consume product.
Just mod the game and it'll be fun.
If I have to mod your game.
Consume product. Don't think. Just consume product and say thank you.
I'm sorry that I like using my brain. My bad.
Look at the fat anime titties and shut up.
Okay. We're talking about Monster Hunter World, not Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Let's calm down.
Hold on.
Yep.
Oh, hold on. Some fat titties would be nice, actually. Get rid of the handler.
True.
Get rid of the handler, and I hate Monster Hunter World much less.
I would still hate Monster Hunter World just as much.
But no,
anyways.
I think that is clapped. That is a wonderful place to bring it to a close, though, I think.
I was going to say, on a brighter note, you guys are cool, so that's a brighter note, so that we don't end it on some, like, hate-filled fucking rant spewed by Rag, but...
maybe the real Monster Hunter were the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
Maybe. I hate you so much. Stop talking.
Maybe we're the monster hunters.
I was just about to say that.
Not because we hunt monsters, but because we are hunters that are monsters. Thank you for watching, everyone. God.
If Guildmon was in World, it would be a little better. Anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in, and thank you guys for thank you guys for being a part of the stream. Also, I appreciate it. It's been real fun. So we will see you guys at some point soon, probably maybe next Sunday. I don't know if you guys want to make this like a weekly or bi-weekly thing, or... Cool.
Sorry.
We can talk about this later.
Yeah, I said, we'll discuss that. Anyways, thank you guys for showing up. I'm pressing the stop stream button.